Miss Marshall, you got a, hit this morning?
Looks like she's got a lot for us.
I have a couple of items just for information. Number one is for information. My office is authorized by law to pay into the clerk's fine and forfeiture fund all unclaimed money deposited or collected. We have to publish a list in our local paper. We did that pursuant to law. And by the law, the proof of publication is to be filed and recorded in the minutes of the county commission. So that's why I'm bringing it to your attention as information. The list totaled $6,117.83 and represented checks that were issued by my office that were never cashed. We did reissue one $15 check after the ad ran, and the charge for the advertisement itself was $283. So I just had to make sure that proof is part of the minutes. Number two, for information, the following days have been set for holidays for my office for 2017. I have received tentative approval from the chief judge, but they told me to go ahead and bring it to the board also for information. Number three is a request from the health department, and Miss Sandy Martin is out in the audience if you have any questions for her. The last two items are both approvals for the health department. The first is they have requested approval of their annual contract with you to be effective from October 1st through September 30th of next year. The contract does list the county's funding appropriation of the $49,000 that was approved in your budget. It lists the two health department buildings now owned by the county, and it says all their vehicles will be transferred to the ownership of the county, be registered as county vehicles, and the county shall provide the insurance coverage. With the contract, the board would agree the director, administrator be selected by the state with the concurrence of the county, and there are termination at will clauses in there. And I also provided a copy to our attorney, Michael Schuler, but it's basically the same contract that you approve every year.
That is correct, Commissioners. I did review the contract, and I have not found any material changes between last year and this year. A couple of changes, but most of the changes I've located in the contract had to do with nothing more than the date changing from last year's contract to this year's contract.
So you fine with it?
Yeah, now as far as the level of services provided by the health department, that's outside of my wheelhouse and experience. I mean, I don't have the ability, I mean, I'm relying on the health department in terms of the types of services they're providing, which is what we've always done every year. So I really couldn't tell you if that's been changed materially one way or the other. But I'm sure they're doing what they're required to do under state law.
All right.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and then the last item is the health department has requested approval of their fee schedule for both medical fees and environmental health fees. The environmental health fees have not changed. According to their cover letter, they continue to follow recommendations from the state health office to adjust the medical clinic fees to more closely align with the Medicare fee schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Since we're in the health department, if you look at item 10 on my report, board action to authorize Franklin County Health Department to pay for all repairs, maintenance, and other services to county vehicles that are assigned to the county's health department with state funds. Without this authorization, the health department would not be allowed to use their state funds to service the vehicles. So basically, we register, tag, insure the vehicles, and but we only use their funds to repair and service the vehicles. I did some research. They have 12 cars. I don't know the cars that covers us and Dolph.
There are 10 vehicles.
Come up forward right here and speak your name.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Sandy Martin, the business manager for Gulf and Franklin County Health Departments.
It's 10?
There are 10 vehicles
Okay.
currently with Franklin County.
Okay.
But they use solely in Franklin?
They are used back and forth. For instance, we have the administrator. She uses a Franklin County vehicle to travel back and forth. We have our nursing director for both counties. She uses a vehicle to travel back and forth. The operations manager here in Franklin County is also the manager for environmental health over in Gulf County, and he actually uses a Gulf vehicle. So it depends on how they're divvied out and what particular type of vehicle is needed.
Does Gulf County help pay the cost?
Yes, that is correct. Mhm.
For using the vehicle back and forth?
Yes, we split depending on when a vehicle needs repair or service, depending on which program is using that vehicle, that's which program pays for it.
I'm sorry, were you asking about the service of the, like, insurance and?
Yeah.
No, we pay all, for the vehicles that she's referring to, the 10 vehicles, Franklin County pays all to insure.
No. If it's used in Gulf County better to come up with some of that cost.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying? Do y'all agree?
yeah.
Do you agree?
It should be split, at least
Yeah.
split.
Split, that's the way I see it.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm answering correctly, so.
And if this hadn't been the way,
clerk
we
can-
need to.
Well, I guess the question is, are there other vehicles besides these 10 that Gulf County's insuring and registering?
That is correct.
But that's what they're driving at. They want to make sure that we're not paying the entire burden.
No.
Gulf County has vehicles that they provide.
Well, we say
That
if
is
Gulf
correct.
County is using our vehicles, they should help be paying on our insurance.
Well, let's take Ms. Linderman, that's what you referred to.
Yes.
The car she drives to go between both.
Right.
No, we pay that insurance and we tag that car.
That is correct.
Franklin County does. Not, we don't get any money back from Gulf to assist with that
But is she
particular
using
car.
it to go to Gulf County?
I
That's what I'm
assume.
trying
She
to say.
does.
Yeah, she does.
If the vehicles are using in Gulf and Franklin, it should not be incumbent on Franklin County to pay the complete cost. Do you see what I'm saying? On the.
Yes, I mean, I understand what you're saying, I do, yeah.
Well, there's 10 vehicles in Gulf that Gulf County's paying for, right?
That is correct.
Are they being used in Franklin?
They are. Mhm. When we have staff that is split between the counties, we assign them a vehicle depending on what type of vehicle they need. For instance, environmental health staff, they need a truck.
Is it 10 vehicles that Gulf County's
I
using?
don't have the exact number for Gulf County, but I do believe it's more than
You see where I'm coming
10.
from on this?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I don't mean no harm, but Gulf County is just as well prepared to pay for cost as what Franklin County is.
And they do. They have vehicles there. And again, I don't have the exact number. I want to say it's 12, but I can't remember that exactly. But they do the same thing. We purchase the vehicle, they register the vehicle, they tag the vehicle, they insure the vehicle, and then we cover all the costs of any repairs and upkeeps of the vehicle. And at the end of its life with the health department, it reverts back to the county.
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman? I don't have no problem with going with this last thing because they're gonna pay for the oil changes, the
Yes.
tire. Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to approve that. But in the meantime, I'd like for you to get with the young lady here, and I wanna know exactly how many vehicles they got over there that they're paying for, and how many vehicles over here that we're having to insure. Okay, so let's get that information back to the commission.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's move forward with what we're at.
Yeah, okay.
But bring that information back to us, Mike.
I will.
All right, have a motion, need a second?
Okay?
Second, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Whose turn, yours?
Michael, Alan, y'all reports the same?
No, unfortunately. Mine will be coming, the short ones, and he'll be the long one.
Well, now I got a question to ask you before you start, Alan. Did you bring us back any apples?
No, I did not bring it back. I could have brought you back some pawpaws that I picked up along the trail.
Oh, you got
but,
pawpaws?
They all melted. There's a little kitty song about picking up pawpaws, putting them in a basket anyway. Let me tell you, they don't last very long in a basket. They rot and anyway. That's why I'm getting a new cell phone. Because
It wasn't a good experience,
No,
huh?
no. Pawpaws and cell phones do not go together. Do not put them in the same basket.
Always an adventure.
We had a good time. I will say, we rode from Gettysburg to Antietam in one day. It was 32 miles, and we got, it was already over, so we couldn't believe that. But, all right, this is my report, restore report for today. Remind the board, there's a restore workshop this afternoon at 1:30 with Dewberry, so we hope to make some progress, really start on our MYIP. Number two is a little bit of a change, but it's the way life is. Inform the board that when Dewberry and I worked on the submission of the Restore Planning Grant in November of 2015, so it was almost a full year ago, I wrote up the Restore Coordinator position as a part-time county position. It was my expectation that Treasury would approve the planning grant in January of 2016, and then for the next 10 months, or until October of 2016, I will be able to bill for my time working on restore items to the planning grant. I was overly optimistic that by October 1 of 2016, the MYIP would be well on its way. As the board is aware, the planning grant was not approved until August 1st. Now that we have begun the development of the MYIP, another problem has come to light. It will require an amendment to the planning grant, which Treasury will have to approve in order to change the part-time coordinator position into a consultant position. It is my assessment, as well as Dewberry's, that Treasury could take months to approve such a change, and then the board would have to advertise for restore consultants and go through a review process of applicants, of which I would be one. In order to avoid more delays in developing the MYIP, I am informing the board that I will continue to serve as a restore coordinator in a voluntary capacity. I can receive repayment for any expenses I incur in traveling, but I will not receive a salary. All unspent funds from this will stay in the county's restore fund, so the county will benefit. I'm willing to do this because I really do not expect the development of the MYIP to be that difficult on my part, and we need to keep moving forward. We are a little bit behind, and I don't want to be the reason for things slowing up, so we need to move forward. And again, Dewberry has a contract, they're going to carry all the heavy burden, and I'm going to be here to assist, but they are the ones who are supposed to be doing the work.
And this is the only way that you can be compensated is for your,
Yeah, otherwise, because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to retire as of October 1, and I'll be honest, my pension is greater than a part-time position. So it's beneficial for me to receive my pension as opposed to trying to be working part-time.
yeah.
So it's better for me.
We appreciate you volunteering.
Well, I want to see the board work this, and all I want to do is get the MYIP approved. Who's going to manage these contracts and these projects is not, is well beyond me. We'll see how that comes up. So that's that. I appreciate it. And,
Do we
hope
need to
get
make a motion on this?
No, because there's really nothing to be done. You would have to make a motion if you're going to do it, change things, but I'm just
Okay.
telling you, I'm not going to take the restored salary. All right, item number 3, though, in a related issue, there are still several projects that I have been assisting the board with that are not complete. The projects include the relocation of Gulf Shore Boulevard and the redevelopment of the Island View Park. There might be other projects that have slipped my mind, but I will only work on things at the direction of Michael Maroon. As I said, as of October 1, I'll become a retiree. With board approval, I will be available to work on these projects and will submit my costs, which include time spent on these projects, as an independent contractor through the county's attorney's office. And we verified that with FRS this morning, and that's allowable.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. There are 2 other items, though, that came up. One, Mr. Chua had, but I'm going to bring it up now. We are ready to approve the Nature Conservancy Management Agreement for Island View to renovate Island View. The money's available, and we're ready to move forward in that project. It's over $1 million going to be spent on restoring the Island View Park.
And I do want to give it the official name as the Island View Park.
And the island that we're viewing is Dog Island. It's-
The
Yeah,
Island View Park.
Island
That's what I want to name it, Island View Park. I don't want to leave it, but, I mean, there's a lot of families that I wanted to name it to, but I didn't want to name it for some and then leave the others out, so we're going to just keep it the Island View Park.
Make a
And-
motion.
And do that, and I make that motion to approve,
The Nature Conservancy Agreement.
yep, the Nature Conservancy Agreement, and that's my motion.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
And just the last thing for people on alligator points to know, I just learned this morning with Clay that apparently we have to do an evaluation of the potential Indian artifacts in the proposed relocation of Ball Point Road. So we are going to have to look for artifacts.
I'll do it this afternoon.
I wish you were licensed. So we are going to go through that process.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding. There is a possibility, because this is state lands and because there might have been some Indian activity out there, we're going to have to go through an evaluation to make sure there are no Indian artifacts in the proposed route that we've already been approved by the state of Florida to put a road through there.
Can he talk to some of the people that knows that area down there and go with that?
What about the gopher tortoise?
Don't suggest anymore. I'm
I'm
serious,
familiar with
yeah.
that program, and there is a Bureau of Archaeology, and they do.
Yeah.
We have an estimate of $2,500, which, we have no choice. I mean, we got to,
How long that take?
hopefully,
Our first
period
year.
of time.
Good news, Clay.
Well, it's not for Ballpoint right now, it's the Gulf Shore Boulevard.
Yeah, I'm
relocation.
sorry,
Gulf
I'm sorry, Gulf Shore
You said
Boulevard,
Ballpoint.
relocation. No,
But
I'm sorry.
they actually have, the archaeologist is gonna have to get a permit from the state to do this study on their land, which they said they think takes about 30 days, but after that, the reporting and the digging and the sifting of the sand and all they have to do shouldn't take too much longer, so.
Now, you're talking about the alternate route in there?
Yes, the one, the route that the state of Florida already approved the governing cabinet. Now we learn we have to go look and make sure there's no Indian artifacts in
We should have by the first of the year.
That would be the hope, yes, sir.
Those people gonna eat me up down there, y'all.
Well, ain't nothing you do about it, go.
Well, they think I can, they think this board can.
Well, the Indians done that to you.
The minute,
That predates us.
what's gonna be,
So I'm gonna email this, Commissioner Sanders, after lunch, I'm gonna email these people who are counting on this road being put in there and say, hey,
That ain't do no good.
it won't, go ahead and do what you gotta do. I mean,
and that's.
but do it expeditiously as you can, though. Let's do it as fast as you can.
Well, ask them, you might can email them and ask them, is there any more uninspected?
No,
Is that there at the end of your report?
That's in my report,
Okay,
yes, sir.
Mr. Michael Morone?
So, can I ask, will it not be Schuler, and Pierce?
I'm sure my name will not be on the board.
Item number 2, my report, we already addressed item number 1. Last week, Commissioner Sanders attended the Florida Association of Counties Policy Committee Conference down in Martin County. Commissioner Sanders was able to talk to some legislatures and other commissioners regarding upcoming legislative policies and other issues facing counties. Commissioner, anything else to add to that? No?
Move ahead.
Can I say one thing about the consortium? All right, so the consortium, you had a meeting down there also on the consortium. And this is what happened, of the 23 counties, 11 counties, which Franklin County was one, 11 counties asked for additional assistance from their,
There's 7, they said.
oh, I got an email saying 11.
Well, I'll be dog, they told us 7.
Well, in any event, there are counties, so we're waiting for the consultants, to.
ESA,
Yeah.
which is only gonna allow 32 hours total time to be able to
The
consult.
consortium has not made any more progress than we have. That's the short.
And that was not in their original
Scope.
contract and scope of work.
So there still is no state expenditure plan, there's still no idea
I'm
what's
just
going to
telling you.
be created. They said that they hope to have something to the December 3rd consortium meeting.
Item number 3, Commissioners, the board action to authorize the chairman's signature on a proclamation declaring October 2016 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The board is invited to a Domestic Violence Awareness Month luncheon on Friday, October 14th. A copy of the proclamation and invitation is in your board packet, but let me pass out some invitation they sent.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries.
Run back. 4, board action to authorize the chairman's signature on the contract with Roberts and Roberts for the repaving of Ballpoint Road from CR 370 to the State Park entrance. This is a $1.2 million SCOP project that was awarded to Roberts and Roberts at your August 16th, 2016 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Keeping in that same project, board action to authorize the chairman's signature on an agreement with Alday Howell Engineers for professional engineering services and inspections for Ballpoint Road repaving project. This agreement allows Alday Howell to do the inspections for the Ballpoint project. Dewberry Purple Rich engineered the project and therefore cannot provide inspection services for the project.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Board action to approve the chairman's signature on the county incentive grant program agreement and resolution for the widening and resurfacing of both Ellis Van Fleet and 17th Street. This project includes safety improvements, restriping, shoulder stabilization, culvert replacement extension, and treatments replacing signage, grassing, etc. Approximately 0.65 miles of Ellis Van Fleet Road and 17th Street will be widened and resurfaced.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Board action to authorize the chairman's signature on Dewberry Purple Rich design contract for the Mill Road Small County Outreach Program project. This project will include approximately 1.6 miles of widening and resurfacing, 2.65 miles of new roadway construction, striping, shoulder stabilization, culvert replacement extension, signage, and grassing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all opposed, motion carries. When they gonna start that?
Clay? The question was when they're gonna start the SCOT project for Mill Road.
We'll start surveying.
Okay.
If they get it, if they did get it this quick, they're gonna be doing good, because it took me 3-4 years to
Ball
get
point.
ball point.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
the design, it'll be on bid out 6 months.
Okay.
Good. Board action to authorize the chairman's signature on the proposal contract from the Division of Historical Resources for Phase 2 work on Fort Coombs Armory. This contract is for $180,000 and will be used for foundation and floor structural repairs, windows renovations, ADA improvement, front door renovations, and interior renovation restoration to allow for ADA improvements.
So
The county-
moved.
The county will
Second.
provide an $18,000 match for this grant, and again, Commissioner Watson, I thank you for helping us get that reduced. Thank you. Oh, one quick item on this. Commissioner, I mean, I don't know about y'all, I get a lot of phone calls complaining about the rent for the armory. I need to say publicly, we have put a lot of money in there, also a lot of match money that we need to come up with. So some people might think it's high. I don't personally, but the rent that they pay goes right back into the armory to keep these phases going and keep these repairs and improvements. It's something I wanted to say to the board. All right. Item number 9, board action to authorize the chairman's signature, and I have to say this, on a $4,995 agreement with Intact Partners. Intact Partners was selected to create permitting software for the building department after the county canceled the contract with the previous vendor. We plan to go live during the first week in October since Intact is 80% completed with the design. Approval should be contingent on the Attorney General's review, as he has not been given that opportunity to review the contract as yet.
So
This-
moved.
This is finally, we're progressed 80% with getting our online, our version for our permitting software online. Finally,
Second.
we're there.
I got a motion second on the floor, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
I addressed item 10 earlier. Item 11, the Appalachian Center is submitting a grant application to the Department of Children and Families to designate their Tallahassee location as a central receiving center. This designation would allow the Tallahassee Appalachian Center to serve as a single point of access for all individuals from Franklin County transported by law enforcement under the Baker and Marchman Acts. Dr. Jay Rees, the Executive Director of the Appalachian Center, is seeking board support for the grant application. Dr. Reeves stated that if the grant is awarded, the county may be approached for some type of match, but your support of this grant application doesn't make any specific assurance of a match. Board action to authorize the chairman's signature on a letter of support. I will forward the letter to Attorney Schuler for his review before sending it to Dr. Reeves.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Item 12, board action to approve and authorize the chairman's signature on the Franklin County SHIP annual reports. These reports are for fiscal years 2014 to 2015 and 2015 to 2016.
So moved.
Standard annual reports, Commissioners.
I have a motion second on the floor, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Staying with SHIP, inform the board that Ms. Lori Schweitzer of our SHIP program met with Mr. Joe Paul, Gulf County's SHIP administrator, to share ideas and compare programs. From that meeting, Ms. Schweitzer was able to add a contractor to her list. Ms. Schweitzer will be advertising for additional contractors in the local newspaper, as she will be bidding SHIP projects in the near future. And finally, we did 14, remind the board that the end of the fiscal year meeting, as I call it, is scheduled on Friday, September 30th at 9 a.m. On the agenda will be approval of the final bill list for the current fiscal year. I kind of left that off there. This meeting and action greatly reduces the amount of bookkeeping and transactions for the finance office.